Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Unveiling the Truth. This is episode 3. We're really excited to be here. I'm Robin, and this is Brad, my co-part
Hmm.
in crime. And we are going to have a great show today. And our show is going to be about the Alaska Triangle. And there's
Yeah.
so much to talk to you about that sit back, relax, have some popcorn, some Mr. Pibb, Dr. Pepper,
Mr.
and
Pibb?
we,
Do they
Mr.
still sell
Pibb,
that shit?
shut
Wow.
up.
Okay. I didn't know they still sold that.
Uh,
It's been a while. We're,
yes,
we're
I
really
think
we're
so.
really aging ourselves here.
No, I'm aging myself. Um,
Okay.
and so we have a lot to cover. And so it's going to be a nice long show for you and just enjoy. And when we first popped on, I was very curious about Brad's t-shirt. And it is, Brad,
It's a
something
shoebill stork,
Stu Bill Stork. See, I have short-term memory loss.
and it's the coolest bird ever. It looks like a pterodactyl, and I was like, I want one. I want one of them. So maybe I'll buy one someday, and he'll
Where
be on
where do
he'll be on
they
the show.
where do they live? Where do the
They're
shoe bill
indigenous
storks?
to Guyana in Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I mean, they can pretty much live anywhere, kind of wherever there's water, semi tropical. Um, Maybe I'll send you one in Boise.
No, thank
It
you.
would
I'm
die
not a
in
bird.
Boise. It would
Yeah,
die in
I'm not a
Boise.
bird girl. Even though my
Yeah.
name's Robin, not a bird girl.
Oh, yeah. Robin
See?
Burt's right. I forgot.
Yeah, see.
I don't like pets. I don't think birds are pets.
No,
I think
no.
birds belong in the sky and trees, wherever. I don't think they belong in a cage with clipped wings or whatever. That's not a life. That's a jail sentence, is what that is.
Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
seen the movie The Birds? Was it Alfred Hitchcock?
Yeah.
I'm gonna date
Long time.
myself again. Okay, so I grew up in Sunnyvale, California, next to a cherry orchard, and we had crows like you couldn't believe. So here comes out this movie that petrified me because these birds are pecking people's eyes out,
Yeah.
and I had to go stand next to the cherry orchard to get on the school bus, and all these crows. And I was
They were everywhere.
petrified, and I will never have a bird again after that movie. So
That was
that
a
was a
creepy movie.
that was awful. That just
Yeah.
petrified me, that movie. Because
Yeah.
like I remember this lady running down, it was this fake bird that they taped onto her shoulders, and she was screaming,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh my gosh, that was pretty bad. So
Yeah, that's pretty nasty. Well, we're going to talk about some really weird birds today, though.
yes, we are. We are
Even scarier birds.
large, scary birds.
Yeah.
So do you want to start with the some cryptid stuff?
Yeah, we can start with some cryptid
Okay.
stuff because some of that
Okay.
cryptid stuff is I know that is kind of your
Yes.
that's your forte. That's kind of one of
Yeah.
your showcases. And
Yes.
I've heard of a lot of various cryptids, and I
Hmm.
think I was talking to you about the knot deer. They call it the knot deer. It looks like a deer, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's like a knot joke, deer, not right. But that's what they
It
call
looks
it, the
like a
knot
deer.
deer. Yeah, it looks like a deer, but it acts so incredibly wacky and weird, and it is like disgusting looking. And then I started looking at other cryptids, and I was like, okay, I think I've got nothing surprises me anymore until I saw some of the stuff that you found. So
Yeah.
I can pull up. Which
You
one
want
do
to
you
start
want?
with it?
Which one do you want to talk
Let's
about
start
first?
with the Thunderbirds.
Oh, okay, okay, we'll do
So we
that.
might as well keep going with the bird cryptid.
The bird theme, and
Yeah.
we should scare the shit out of people right out of the bat here.
Well,
And
we will scare you because actually
mhm.
in Idaho here, I live in Boise and the town next to me is Meridian. And they videotaped a bird like this flying overhead, and circling in
Mm.
Meridian years ago. And so these are called thunderbirds. They are said to be massively large winged creatures with supernatural powers, primarily related to storms. These huge birds, with a wingspan up to dozens of feet, are said to have created thunder with their wings and lightning. Um, there's another picture. Do you still have that? I want to show you kind of how big they are because these birds, okay, there you go. So in Alaska, there is these birds and they lived high on a mountain. And so basically no one could get up to capture them. They, as you see the man there, they would um, eat people. I guess there's stories about a guy canoeing and this bird came down and took the whole canoe and
It
the
took the canoe
guy,
too?
yeah, it took the canoe too. It just picked
Damn.
up the whole thing and brought it to the nest and then they just start picking. How would you like to die by a large bird picking you apart?
Yeah.
I mean, that's sorry, that's just like, "Ugh."
Yeah, that's it's one of those things. It's like, oh, I'm sorry for the loss of your dad. How'd he die? You almost don't want to
Yeah,
tell a story like that. It's like, well, this fucking
no.
bird. I mean, oops, this bird just swooped down and ate him in his boat.
Yeah.
And
Well, the
it's
boat
like, yeah,
they said the boat stayed and it just but they got the guy out and ate him. And so they said that even these birds would eat whales. They would go after the whales and bring the
yeah,
whales up. So
damn.
they did say that they started hunting them because they were so destructive to humankind, obviously. And actually, you can see to the left of me, you see a man's legs. So he's holding up one of,
Okay.
you see, there's men on each side. So this is a real picture. This is the only picture I could find that they're actually holding the wings
Oh,
out
this
of
guy's leg
this.
like right here. Where this
Yeah,
guy?
and there's a guy on the other side. So they're holding the
Okay.
wingspan out. And
Okay.
yeah. So to
Oh,
me, this
I
is
thought it was propped up. I thought it was like maybe pinned or propped up on something.
I thought so
But
too, but look at all the legs behind there.
yeah,
They're holding
you would
that bird
need, I
up.
mean, to really push the wingspan out to give you the perspective visually,
Yeah. Yeah.
before the taxidermy comes in or whatever, who knows? But you still want to, it's like this is what it looks like in full flight when it's fully extended. The wings are fully extended in full flight when they're way up. I'm sure this bird flies at a very high altitude because of its
It
size. I
did.
mean,
Yeah.
hell, it looks like one of our Predator jets. But anyways, I mean, yeah,
Because I was thinking it was probably a pterodactyl, but they said no, it's not, because the face is different, obviously. But they think that some of them kind of had an eagle look to them. This one doesn't, but they're black, and I think some of them have more of an eagle face. That's what they said. So anyway, they went hunting them. They did as much hunting to get rid of them as they could. And so they basically became extinct in time because they tried to get rid of them because they were so um, they were
well,
taking
yeah,
people.
they didn't want to be a meal. I wouldn't want to be a
No.
meal to something like that. I mean, I
Well,
don't
it's
even know
so
how to fight
weird that
something like that off.
well, like I guess hawks eat my squirrels, but you think birds would, I don't know.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean that makes sense. A bird of prey. Owls eat little rats and stuff like that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, the shoebill stork eats. That is a big lungfish is one of their favorites, and these fat, really thick fish, like a little bit bigger than catfish, and they eat them whole. So I can see a bird eating carnivorous things, but a bird eating a dude in a canoe boat is that's that's unheard of.
Yeah, let me
And
read to you that story.
yeah,
It says sometimes they would actually eat reindeer from a herd and
well, reindeer are
bring
big.
and they bring it back to their young to feed it. And then I guess the noise of the wingspan would do a lot of shaking. It would shake things. And they would descend upon fishermen. They descended upon a fisherman in his canoe on the surface of the river, carrying the man and the canoe to the top of the mountain. There the man would be eaten by the young thunderbirds, and the canoe would lie beat and bleach among the bow the bones and other refuge scattered along the border of the nest. So
Oh, so they
that's
had
just
nests. They made nests up
they
wherever
had
they were
nests,
at.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
and yeah, that's what I it says in here. So that's the thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
And I think we were talking earlier before the show. There was something like this in Mexico too. So
Yes, you said that.
I didn't know there was one in Alaska. I'm not surprised, but
Yeah.
where else have they been? Who knows? But that
Well,
is a
in Idaho.
big, yeah. Oh, that's right. That is a
Yep.
very large bird. Holy shit!
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's like
maybe
a
I'll
giant
see if I can
raven.
find that video because it was on the news and see
And
if
this
I
is what it
can
looks like
post
in
it.
flight, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's like a big crow kind of with a
Yeah,
big
kind of like a raven
wingspan.
or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's one of those Alaskan things and
There's always every. I mean, the things you see in Alaska, even the current animals in the animal kingdom and zoology, even like everything is just seems to be bigger than what we're used to seeing. Like even when you go to Alaska and you see grizzly bears here, but a grizzly bear
oh
there
yeah. Yeah.
is bigger. Even the
Yes.
Kodiak brown bears, which are massive, like the biggest bears on Earth.
Yep.
Um, the moose in Alaska are bigger than they are in the lower 48. It's like I don't know. They're it's
Do you think
creepy.
it's the train that they have to be larger to sustain themselves?
It could be because it's harder living up there, right? For
Yeah. Oh
anybody,
yeah.
a bear or
Yes.
a person, it's harder to live up there. And I mean, you kind of get what you can get because you need the energy and calories to be able to survive in that kind of terrain in that land. It's
Yes.
rough. Alaska's not easy living. It's not for everybody.
Well, let's switch gears to just one more cryptid and then I'll let you go on yours. So
Okay.
the woolly mammoth. Do you want to?
Oh yeah.
So the woolly mammoth actually was big up in Alaska and they the indigenous people there because supposedly it became extinct like what 10,000 years ago. But this is what
Something like that.
Alaska, yeah, this is what they said Alaska actually looked like, that it wasn't glacial. And so a lot of these beasts would migrate to Alaska because they had a lot of grassy land and they would live off the grass. And then the indigenous people, would live off the mammoth. Well, they said, I was listening to a shaman that actually investigates these mammoth, and he feels through the people's story of his tribe that it was even, let's see, I think it was 50 years ago. He said the last one was probably taken out about 50 years ago. And so he
50 years
says,
ago from today, 50 years back.
yeah, yeah,
So
that's what he
there
said.
were still around and
Well,
possibly 50 within the last 50 years.
Well,
Whoa.
also they have crews that have ground radar up in Alaska. I don't
Uh-huh.
remember exactly where this is, but they all have things in trees and for earthquakes, they want to see
Right.
the tremors and stuff of this certain area. So they were watching it one day, and in one certain area there is tremors, and just this one area. And so they couldn't figure out what was going on in this one area. And they went up there to look. And this, I guess The device was high in the tree, one of the devices,
The
and
seismograph.
that's it. And so it was up in the tree, and the tree was bulldozed down and it was crushed. Something like a herd of something huge ran through that one area.
Damn.
And they're maybe estimating that maybe the mammoth or something large like that is
Is
still
still around.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see the elephants, the herds of elephants in Africa. They knock down. They'll clear their own path and knock down a part of a forest just to get through it. I mean, you see, all of a sudden you see
Yes.
these trees shake, and then they just
Yes.
fall, and just 50 elephant come through, and that's an elephant. And mammoth are
Yes.
bigger and
Yes.
stronger, and if they're setting off the seismograph, um,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden the
Yes.
trees are gone, and this is 50
Also,
years ago, and it's like,
yes.
yeah,
And maybe
you
they're
better
still,
get out of the way.
but also there's one more picture I sent you
Yes,
that
you did.
we are, our scientists found this baby mammoth and they are trying to bring them back to life
Now,
with the
why would you want
DNA.
to do that?
I don't know
Do you,
because they can. I don't
let
know.
me ask you, if you were the decision maker and the CEO of that scientific company, would you say, yeah, let's do it? Or would you say, no, leave shit alone?
I would probably, my heart says to leave it alone, but my mind says, let's give it a shot. I
What
don't
could go
know.
wrong?
Well, of course it could go
Uh,
wrong. I mean,
what
and then
could go
there's a
wrong other
lot,
than losing all the trees and forests around the local
and
area, right?
people.
And
Yeah,
people, there's nothing.
yeah,
What could go wrong? You could eat all the
yeah,
grass in the world.
yeah.
There's
So
nothing can
they,
possibly, yeah.
and I think this has been talked about before, is that this is one of their, some group is trying to bring back the dinosaurs. So Jurassic Park might not be far from truth anymore, but I
Mm-hmm.
do believe that they are trying to bring back the this generation of dinosaurs. So,
They've
um,
already brought back the dire wolf.
yes, the dire wolf is here. We know that for sure because
And
it's been tested on Skinwalker Ranch.
yeah, the dire wolf has been
Mm-hmm.
brought back before, and there's a company in Dallas. I think I forgot it's a genetic science laboratory company, and they have, I think, three or four. I mean, they're not puppies now, but they're big. When they were puppies, they were already
Yeah,
50 or 60 pounds at puppies,
yeah,
and they were only
yeah.
months old. So I mean, they're probably going to procreate and make more. I can only imagine what problems that
That is,
might
yeah.
bring.
So it's very interesting. So why was there a dire wolf at Skinwalker Ranch? It was dead. It was a carcass. They found it in the lake,
Mm.
and they had it tested, and it was a dire wolf. And I thought, why is there a
Where do
dire
they
wolf?
find this? Where
Utah.
did they find this little Utah? This one?
No, not this one. This one,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think,
Skinwalker's in Utah. You're right, but this little
yeah.
baby mammoth.
I'm not sure. I think it was frozen. So maybe I'm not sure. Alaska. I'm not sure. Maybe Siberia. To be honest with you, I didn't read the whole article. I do remember when this was found though. Um, but look at they're raising 15 million to bring back the woolly mammoth from extinction.
Yeah, elephant mammoth hybrid with the first calves expected to be, I guess, born in 6 years. So in the
Yeah.
next few years, we may start
Yep.
seeing mammoths. And I want to say this may be this. I think this is the same company that did the direwolf
Maybe. Yeah.
genetic. Yeah, because they did discuss it. And you're right. There are companies, I don't know if it's the same one, that are looking to bring back certain species of dinosaurs as well.
Correct. Yeah.
And I don't. Now this is all Alaska we're talking about, and this is where these animals are coming from. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what's next? Let's bring the Thunderbird back, right? What could go wrong?
I know. They
What's
eat
the,
everybody.
yeah, yeah. What do you, I think it's
Like
amazing that
why?
science can take that leap and
Yeah.
do that. But like you said,
Mm-hmm.
why? Why do you want to
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah.
And I'm with you. It's like, yeah, my heart says no. Nature kind of does its thing. If it went extinct, it went extinct for a reason.
Yes.
But my curious brain would just want to, kind of play around and let's see what we
You
can
want to
do.
pet one.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's
I
cute
want to
until
pet a
it's,
mammoth.
yeah, until it's 65 tons full grown
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
crushes my car. And
Yeah.
then, it's like, okay, I think I made the wrong choice.
Well, they're also
Yeah.
finding in Alaska, there is a lot of the tusks still around. And
Mm-hmm.
so people, obviously are tusk hunting. So they can tell that there was a lot of mammoth up in Alaska during the
Yeah.
prehistoric time.
And they
So,
were huge. I remember seeing, like, the re and CGI remake makes of the herds of them, and they
yeah.
walk really slow and stuff, but they were just that picture that we just showed before, the slide before, of them hunting. Look how many, I mean, just
Yeah.
to spear one down, you're not going to drop that thing down
No.
quick.
No.
I mean,
No.
with today's weapons, you could probably gun it down fairly quick, but
Yeah.
it would take a lot of spears and
It would take a
slingshots and everything
village.
else.
Yeah.
Yes, that's for
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah. But
And
think how
I
much
wonder, did they
food that
hunt?
would leave them too.
Yeah, I would say they hunted them though for food though.
Yeah, food, and I'm
Yeah,
sure the skin,
the
the
hides.
fur.
Yep,
Yeah, they could
tusks.
make their,
They used
yeah.
everything. They used
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So,
And then we've got this little
yeah.
guy who's going to be brought back to life, and I don't know whether to be kind of, oh, cool, this is what a wonderful thing humanity's doing. Like, oh shit, man, we're messing with nature and we
Well,
shouldn't be.
what I don't like is, they won't have a lot of success. So something might become alive and then it dies, and I don't like that. So that's
Yeah,
just my thought process is there's no reason to bring these back. There's
no,
no reason to. So,
no. And
um,
like you said, when you mess with genetics, you're right. There's always stuff that goes wrong, and
yeah,
life is sacrificed. And I'm sure it's
yeah,
not comfortable being messed around with genetically either.
yeah, true, true. So, and then I don't know. Do you think animals have souls? Like
I
stuff
do.
like that?
I
Okay.
do. I think they
So,
do have
how,
souls because somebody told me that they, you know, that's another episode, but yeah, I think they have
okay, we'll
souls.
talk about that sometime. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm wondering if you genetically bring something back, it's not God made, it's man
Oh,
made.
yeah.
So what about a soul in an animal? How does that happen? By design. So that, yeah, we could talk about that in a show. That would be a good
That
one.
is a good, that's a good question.
Mhm.
I didn't think about that. Would cloning anything,
That's
would
what I'm
there,
saying.
would have a soul?
Cloning,
Yeah.
yeah, cloning
Hmm.
humans. I'm going, how does that work?
Wow.
We might have to talk about that sometime. And I might have to channel
Yeah.
that, do a little writing. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a very deep conversation. A very good
yeah,
question that you posed, and very,
yeah.
it's a loaded question.
It is.
It, it's a
And
very
if
loaded question.
anybody, yeah, if anybody has comments just about anything we're talking about, post it below and we will read it and answer you the best we can. Or if you have
Hmm.
information more than we have, we would like to learn and hear from you guys. So
If
post
you
in the
own a
comments.
cloned mammoth, let us know. I mean, and drop
If
your
you're
email and
working on it,
contact. Yeah, exactly. We
we
definitely
want to
we want
know.
to talk to you. Are you
Yes.
cloning a demon? We want to talk to you.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I don't want to talk to you. You could,
uh, via Zoom interface, yeah, not in
yeah, yeah,
person.
yeah. Got it. So,
Jesus.
sorry,
Good question
guys.
though about the souls though. Yeah, I like that. I mean,
Well, I can go off on that because I know in China they're trying to capture souls. So that's a show we
oh,
should talk about. Yeah, we'll have to
can you
talk about
say
that
this
sometime.
now? Oh God, we gotta talk more.
Yeah,
Robin and
okay.
I, just for whoever's listening and watching, Robin and I, we chat quite a bit back and forth, and we're good friends, but we're the dynamic is a little odd and weird. We'll be chatting during the day, and then it's like, okay, nighttime, you're doing your thing. All of a sudden, 3:30 a.m. comes around. I get a text from Robin, and I'm up, so I text back, and we have another hour-long conversation until like 4:30 or 5. And it's like, okay, I have to go to bed now. I got to go to work. I'm like, well, shit, you woke up. I mean, whatever. And then, or I'll
Yeah,
text her. I'm like, oh, you know what? I hope her phone alert doesn't go off and it wakes her up, but she keeps her phone in the other room. She said, so it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But an hour later, she responds to it anyway. So it's like,
Well,
okay, yeah,
I'm writing a lot of books right now, and so
yeah,
I
you
this
are.
is my inspiration, and I'll get up and start writing, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll write for 2 hours, and I'll go back to bed for a few hours, and I'll get up and write for 2 hours and get back to bed, and then I get up and go to work. So,
Yeah, it
so I'm on
works.
my last book. So
Well, not your
yes.
last one. You've got
Well, no, last
I
one
guess you'd say last one for a while.
for this year, hopefully. Yeah.
It was only another month and a half, but yeah.
I know. I know.
I mean, you only
So.
write 2 or 3 books a month, so
Well, that's
we got
because I
it.
got hit by something that's flowing
Yeah,
across the world right now. So,
through the
um,
universe.
universe. So I just am absorbing it and I'm writing it because that's what I do.
That's what
That's
you
what
do.
I do. Yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep. And I'm giving it to the people.
Yeah, and we've got some other cryptids you want to talk about, or
So, somewhat.
other cryptids, other monsters.
I do. Um, but let's go over to yours for now. Let's talk about a few things that you want to talk about. And then
Oh God,
we'll
I
just
can
go
talk
back
about
and
a
forth.
lot of stuff because
Are you are
what?
you worried that I won't have any time left?
No, no, I don't care about
Okay.
that. It's
Okay.
just yeah, I mean, there is beyond mystery in the state of Alaska. And I do
Yes.
want to go to Alaska. Live?
Okay.
No. But I wouldn't
Mm-mm.
mind doing like an Alaskan cruise or maybe like maybe like a camping trip or something. But where everyone else goes and, where it's safe to go and there's tourists and there's park rangers and there's
Oh yeah.
population.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't want to be
Yeah.
the, you know, uh, Naked and Afraid in Alaska, episode of
Yeah.
Naked and Afraid in Alaska where they just drop you off somewhere and you figure shit out.
Oh yeah, yeah. No.
No, no,
No.
no, no. I
No.
wouldn't make it.
I would
I
I
wouldn't
would
do it.
go. Yeah. Because like it says Alaska is dangerous and unpredictable. There's a force there. And let's talk you want to talk about the triangle a little bit so people
Yeah,
kind of understand.
let's and just for visual reference, because I'm sure a lot of other people are visual as I am, and we do have a visual reference of the actual triangle itself, just to kind of give people perspective of what we're looking at. It's a triangle, obviously. Um, and if you look at that land spread between Anchorage,
Brad,
Barrow, and huh?
I can't see it.
Oh, is it not sharing?
Mm-mm.
Hold on.
I don't see it. There you go. You're
There we
getting
go.
there.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, there's the triangle. As you can see, that's a pretty big spread of land. You're going from Barrow all the way down to Anchorage to Juneau. So that whole triangular area is uninhabited, anything and everything. And that whole uninhabited and everything is where a lot of the anomalies are occurring as it pertains to what were we talking about, the magnetic resonance and some of the
Yes.
stuff that is
Yeah.
going a
Yeah.
little bit haywire and causing a lot of disruptions and stuff. And I was going to start talking. I'm going to unshare the screen so I can pull up my notes here. But now
Okay.
that we know that it's a triangle and people see that it is a triangle
Yeah.
indeed, it causes a lot of interference with a lot of different things, including animal behavior. I read
Mm.
that doing the research on this, and I've heard about this before, that a lot of these high magnetic frequency grid lines that are in some of these areas of the world, because there's a thing with Earth and triangles, and for some reason these triangles within the geographical spread of them tend to have these anomalies where navigation equipment goes wrong, compasses mess
Mm-hmm.
up, people lose time, people get lost. There's vortices where people just don't know where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
Or I've actually heard stories where people have met themselves 3 hours ago and their
What?
new self. Yes, there's a story
What?
where this guy said, hey, you might want to take another route. He told him his old self, or I would say his future self. His old self said,
Wow.
hey, there's going to be a large rock slide. If you continue on this path for a few more clicks, you might want to take a different route. And sure enough, he
Wow.
did, because it happened. So there was
Wow.
a time loop where he met himself.
That's time
And
travasement.
there you go. And you talk
That's
about
it.
that all the time.
Yep. Yep.
And there's other places that I've heard that happens, in places like Joshua Tree, California, out in Death Valley. That
Mm.
happens. There's instances where that has
Wow.
happened, and here in Alaska. And one of the one of the things that is very known in Alaska is people and things just disappear. They
Yeah.
just disappear. And there's a couple of cases, known cases, um, of stuff where it's just like you're here one day, a few minutes, and then you're just like gone, like flight MH370 in Malaysia, if you remember that one. Although
Mm-hmm.
that's another episode we can do.
Okay.
So in 1972, there was a gentleman named Hale Boggs, and I forgot, he was a politician. There were two politicians. They were campaigning
Nick
somewhere.
Begich.
There you go.
Okay.
And they were flying to somewhere. They're flying from Anchorage to Juneau, to the capital, and they were basically going to be doing some campaigning. And all of a sudden, they're flying, experienced pilots that have thousands of hours flying these jets and of all types, and just the aircraft is gone, not crashed, not engine malfunction or anything like that, just gone. And
Mm.
that's that's where I keep getting into, how do we ask the right questions to find out what it is that's going on. So if it's flying in this area, the triangle, what do we need to know to try to even ask the question of, hey, what happened to this aircraft? Because
Mm-hmm.
they did a search and rescue operation for over a month looking for these guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
40 plus days. Yeah.
they didn't find any parts of the plane,
Mm.
no fluids or fuel detected anywhere, no wreckage, no luggage, no human remains. I mean, nothing. And usually, when a plane that size, I forgot the actual aircraft they're flying, but it was a good sized plane. And
Mm-hmm.
there's something that's going to be around there. Something's going to wash up on the shore. It may be on the other end of the coast of the ocean, if it does, but you're going to find something. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing. There's absolutely nothing. And when I hear about cases like this, because there's a lot of cases like this,
Yeah.
not only in the Alaskan Triangle, but in the Bermuda Triangle. That's another
Yes.
famous triangle.
Yeah.
What is it that is making something like this disappear? Now, this is a triangle that covers all of its land. The Bermuda Triangle covers a little bit of land and mostly the ocean. But where is it going? Why can't you
Did you?
find it? Go ahead.
Yeah. Did you see there was footage, and I think it was a Japanese flight that disappeared. And did you see the footage that someone was t filming it, I guess, and there were these lights that were going around the plane, and
Hmm.
then the plane just disappeared. Then it just disappeared.
But
It was like
they
orbs.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I don't think it disappeared because it came back.
Oh, did
If
it
it
come
did
back? Okay.
disappear, it did come back. I don't think it completely disappeared. It might have disappeared off of radar. But
Okay.
good segue there because that was the a Japanese commercial jet back
Yeah.
in 1980 something, mid 85 or 86.
Yeah.
And the captain had reported that there were orbs circling.
Yeah.
This is a 747. So
Yeah.
those of you know who know commercial airlines, that's a big boy. That's a big jet. I mean, that's a
Mm,
transatlantic flight jet, four engines, big wings. It is a big airplane. And
mm,
the captain had called it in, was saying, "Hey, we got these things following us," and it chased that jet. It was, and then
yeah.
it came in contact with something even bigger, what they call like a mothership size craft.
Okay. Okay.
And there's actual, I wish I had the visuals for it because I did see it in another presentation one time.
Yeah, it just came to me. Yeah.
Yeah, they put the visuals of the 747. And if you see what a 747, if you're like at the airport and you're going to board a 747, it's like, holy shit, it's a big plane I'm going to get on, right? But when they
Hmm.
showed this visual comparison to the 747, then you had these orbs following it, chasing it. And
Hmm.
then all of a sudden, the captain was calling this in because he was scared. I mean, I would be too. But
Yeah.
ATC, air traffic control, could not see anything on any of their radar or navigational systems or any of the beacons capturing any other aircraft in the area. It kept telling this
Hmm.
guy, "You're the only bird in the sky right now. We don't see anything. Are you in danger? Or are your engines running fine? Yeah, everything's running fine." But he kept saying it's like it's getting closer, and this thing is massive. And when I saw
Mm.
the visuals of it, the compare, oh man, I should have gotten pictures of it. See, Robin, why didn't you tell me to do that?
Sorry.
No,
It just
no,
came in my
like
head.
it's your fault, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So this 747, they showed this recreation of it. It's flying, and then they showed this mothership, and this mothership had to be at least 10 of those
Okay.
747s
I think I
widthwise.
remember that. Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
even it was round or elliptical or like a spherical or elliptical style ship.
Yeah.
And I'm clearly, if you're flying that, and I can only imagine, you only hear the account of what the pilots have said about that. I'm
Correct.
wondering if anybody who is in sitting back in coach or first class is looking out the window sees any of this shit, because I'd be looking, I'd be like, what the hell is that? No, no,
I'd be film. Yeah.
yeah,
They couldn't
well,
film it back then. Yeah.
no, they couldn't.
Yeah.
But I would be looking for reports, and I did look for some reports or witness accounts of that from passengers. But the only reports that were ever provided were provided by the flight crew. And then so they bring this
Well,
jet in. What? Do you know something I
do
don't?
you think that maybe there was a little bit of a time travasement and some of the people were brought up and then brought back down and we couldn't see exactly.
Possibly.
We might have to research this, Brad.
Well, if you know something I don't, enlighten me.
Well, no, I'm just thinking as
Oh,
we're
you're given
going.
a possibility. Okay. Oh
Yes, I'm
yeah,
just giving
yeah,
possibilities that maybe um things were happening during this time and maybe some of the people were taken up like time stop. They were working
yeah,
with the time and then back down and then the plane.
yeah. Because there's other cases where that's happened.
So I think in Alaska Triangle, I mean, I'm sure portals are opening up. I'm sure there's energy grids and the I would think that, and I do believe that the military actually can find where these are now. I think they know how to find these energy grids, these portals. Um, and so, in my opinion, I thought I read that before that they can actually hunt down portals
Well,
all
now
over
with
the
the
world.
technology that
Yeah,
that
that we
is
have.
that
Yeah.
they have access to, I wouldn't doubt
Yes,
it,
not
because there's
us.
been there's
Yes.
been reports where they've taken portals from places and
Hmm.
transferred them other places. And just to wrap up that case with the Japanese airliner, that pilot was actually grounded. And to any other aviators out there, that you know what that means. I mean, he was basically, he didn't get to fly for a while,
Hmm.
because I mean, he was reporting, hey, look, I know what I saw. This is what I saw. And
Well, yeah.
there it goes again. If you start telling the truth, what did I say? You've
Yeah.
got to talk to the experiencer. The
Hmm.
experiencer is going to be the person who's going to be the credible source that you start with. Yeah, there's going to be some bullshitters in between or whatever, but we're talking tenured pilots. In order to
Yeah.
even sit in the cockpit of a 747, to get the hours and training and the security clearances and the credibility factors, you
Yeah.
have to be a pretty solid person just to
Yes.
even work for the damn airline. So
Yes.
to
Yeah.
and then you're in charge. When you are the captain of that ship, you are in charge of everything from nose to tail. That is your
Hmm.
bird, and you're in charge of all souls on board and everything else. So
Yep.
these guys have a lot of responsibility and a lot of accountability. And we hear it
Yep.
from military pilots, fighter pilots. You've heard those accounts. They're coming out and saying the same thing. It's like, look, why is some fighter pilot that can fly an F-18 Super Hornet, why is he going to make this shit up? Why do you want to ground him? Why?
Yeah.
He's not lying. So this
Yep.
guy wasn't lying. Clearly, he was basically given the desk job for a while, until there was a lot of appeals made, and then he was given his, I guess, his wings back or his license back, and he was able to fly again.
Right.
But he stuck with it. He's like, look, I know what I saw, and I
Yeah. Good
believe
for
him.
him.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's no reason that, unless you want to definitely lose your job and
Hmm.
everything you've worked for in your career as an aviator,
Yeah.
yeah, make up some stupid shit and get fired. This guy there's no
Yeah.
reason to do that.
Do you think that people actually were warned not to speak also? The people that were on the plane?
Passengers,
Yeah. That's why they didn't speak out? Or do you think they
I
maybe didn't remember?
ooh, maybe a little of both.
Yeah.
Maybe a little of both, because maybe, to your statement earlier, to allude to that, you had said maybe there was a little bit of time freeze, lost time. They
Yeah.
just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And
Because why would
because,
that happen?
yeah,
Why would an extraterrestrial component want to mess with a 747 unless there is something they wanted um, from
they're
that?
curious. They are curious about our aircraft. And there is a guy that I had as a guest speaker once a while
Because
back,
there's
and I can tell you
antiques
right up.
to them.
Bravo is like, yeah, let's check out this old shit. This
Yeah.
this hoopty that they're still burning fuel to fly. Let's go make
Yeah.
fun of them. Can
Exactly.
you believe
Yeah.
that they're still burning gas to fly?
Yeah.
Wonder if they have a sense of humor like that. I would.
I
I'd
don't.
be laughing at them. I'd be laughing at you. But
Yeah. Well,
anyways,
high intelligence doesn't have humor, but I
yeah,
think
there's no need for it.
curiosity also.
Curiosity. Maybe
Yeah.
there's a myriad of reasons and answers you can give to that. That's another loaded question. Maybe there's some souls they want on there. They're interested in
Hmm.
soul collection. And
Maybe they transferred souls.
there you go.
We can go a lot of ways with that. Yep.
You don't know what any high dimensional entity, non human intelligence, when I hear so many of these, I don't want to say witnesses, or just people in general. Sometimes I'm just going to generalize here, and I shouldn't, but they speak with this confidence, as they know what it is this non-human intelligence wants. Oh, they want to do this. That's why they come up here and they fly.
Yeah.
No, you don't know
Yeah.
that. You have
And
no
yeah.
idea at what
Hmm.
perspective and intelligence at that kind of dimensionality is even thinking, or what it even looks like, if it even looks like anything. But all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're going to armchair professor this shit and tell me what it is, you know,
Yeah. Exactly.
you know,
And they don't tell us the truth. And I
of
think I
course.
learned that the other night when I was doing a reading that I learned that they tell us what they want us to know, or they can manipulate our minds to bring forth what they want or their agenda, which is totally could be sideways.
They play to our emotions.
Yes, and they can manipulate our minds. So, and I
Yeah.
think the military, they probably obviously know that. And so they probably know how to negotiate without the mind control, I do feel. Or
Oh,
they know
yeah.
how to block it.
That's part of the tech.
Yeah,
It's technology,
exactly. That's
but
true.
it's sci tech, and
Mm-hmm.
they do know how to manipulate and mind map people.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's almost, it comes down to, well, who the hell do you believe? Who the hell do you believe? Or what do you
You don't
believe?
know.
You
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, you
And
don't know
I
until you know. Yeah.
and this poor guy's, I mean, I believe this captain of this airliner, this Japanese
Oh
airliner.
yeah, totally.
I
Totally.
mean, he certainly was. He's a man of credibility, a character, experienced professional, consummate
Hmm.
professional, and
Hmm.
they even talked about it. He was like, he never had a write up or any safety issue or anything in his entire career. And
Yeah.
it's like, this guy's a solid dude. What are you doing? I mean, why are you going to take
Yeah.
his job and everything he worked for? And that's another thing that kind of comes with the territory when we're
Yes.
talking about this stuff in odd geographical places like triangles. It's like, some people don't want to say anything anymore because they're afraid of losing their job, uh, credibility, family might
Oh
think they're
yeah.
cuckoo. There's a
They can
whole bunch of
destroy a
reasons.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
government can destroy a person in a minute. Yep.
And since you brought up electromagnetic frequency readings and anomalies in
Yes.
the area, one of the really kind of scary statistics is there's over 20,000, and that's just rounding. I don't know what the number is now, according to government and law enforcement, over 20,000 missing people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're all near mountainous areas where a lot of famous
Hmm.
hiking is done. um, I forgot the mountain.
Mount Hayes. Mount
Mount
Hayes.
Hayes, there you go. Mount Hayes. They just, again, they vanish.
Yes.
We talk about this, well, I should say David Paulides talks a lot about this in his
Yes.
401 missing 401 series, and he brings up a lot of points, and his approach to it, he makes the data points and then asks the questions, instead of just like, hey, where are they, what was he wearing, let's go look for, let's figure this out, and let's reverse engineer it, disassemble it, and then let's see what we got and try to work with it. And
Mm.
it still doesn't make sense. I mean, a lot of a
Yeah.
lot of the hikers that don't go missing do come back, and they do say, oh, well, we saw orbs, we saw
Yes.
glowing spheres, we
Hmm.
saw crafts, different discs, cylindrical crafts coming in and out of the mountain, like coming out of the actual solid rock,
Yeah.
because they're transmedium. Because
Yeah.
physics does not apply, and it comes out of the mountain or out of the ground and then just shoots up into the sky or across the sky. And witnesses come back that were camping or hiking, and these are just random witnesses. We don't know their credibility or the identity of every single one, but Why would hundreds of them say that?
Yeah. And when you talk about them coming out of the mountains, are you sure there's not a vibrational pull where it's actually a facade and it's actually there is an opening, but we
There could
can't see
be
it and
that.
it could be
So
solidified?
yes, so like
I
a
Shasta's like that, I feel.
yeah, like it opens up
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like like an underground launch pad, landing pad, or something that it
Yeah.
comes in and out
Where
of.
they just
Yeah.
go in and out, where they actually don't have to do energy. It just they push something, it dissolves open,
Mm-hmm.
and then it closes back up.
It could be that because they can manipulate
Mm-hmm.
matter. And I
Mm-hmm.
have seen other footage, not necessarily Alaskan footage, where they have like gone into the side of a volcano
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
come
they
out
love
the end.
volcanoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they love
Isn't that
volcanoes. I mean,
crazy? Yeah.
yeah.
It's like,
So they're
what?
transmedium. So if you're a camper and a hiker and you're going to go camp and hike in the territory of the Alaskan Triangle, one, you're not a rookie. You're probably not just
Mm-hmm.
out there as my first camping trip and hiking trip. Those are usually avid hikers who
Experienced.
know. Yeah.
Yep.
So you got to know what you're doing. You got to have the right gear. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you got to know where you're at. You've got to know the terrain. You've got to know how to hike. You can't just put boots on and start walking. You got to know
Yeah.
how to traverse the terrain because it is not,
Yeah.
it's not a gouged path for you to walk smoothly on.
Yeah.
So people who usually do things like that for fun um, are usually people who like to challenge themselves. They're intellectual
Mm-hmm.
people. They know how to land navigate. They know how to survive because you've got to know how to survive in a place like Alaska. You break a leg, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you're going to be waiting a while for help.
Yeah.
So these people know safety. They know directions, coordinates, and this all plays into the mindset of somebody who is going to go out and do this kind of stuff in a state like Alaska, especially
Mm-hmm.
within that geographical grid area of that triangle. So if these
Yep.
hikers are there seeing spheres and they're seeing crafts come in and out of the rock or the side of a mountain because they're transmedium, what is that? Well, where's the hiker going? And then all of a sudden
Well,
he's gone.
yeah.
If I'm hiking,
Well,
you have a trail, you have like a point man, and you may wing out, and there's like a few people back, and then all of a sudden you turn around and like, hey, where's Brad? I mean, it's like,
yeah.
shit, where'd Brad go? It's like,
He's
and there's
gone
nowhere for me to go,
forever.
right? It's like there's
Well,
nowhere
they
for me to
would want
go.
you.
Yeah.
Well, you look at so let's segue into the hairy man. So my, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, they go multi-dimensional portal in and out, in and out.
Mm-hmm.
So what if they go in and out and then that portal doesn't close for another hour and here comes this little hiker walks right into that portal, you
So
know?
into the portal because it's open.
It's open because maybe it takes a while for them to shut down, or maybe the Sasquatch is coming in doing a thing and says, "Hey, keep that open," and goes back out because they've been, they have like two steps and then they're gone.
Yeah,
When people track
it's
them,
that
there's
quick.
like two steps
Yes.
and then there's no more steps. So you're in this 2,000-pound guy just like vanished.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he went into a portal. And one of my very first when I started my channel in 2000, what, 17, um there was a story of a man that gave me, and he was younger, and he was in the woods by himself, and I don't know if he was hunting or whatever. Well, he got scared because he started hearing footsteps following him, but he couldn't see anybody, so he
Mm.
hid behind a tree to see who was following him. And he saw, because it was so tall, he just saw these legs of a Sasquatch, and he says they were white. And then he said, then it just disappeared. It like walked into something and just disappeared. So as a kid, he actually saw the portal and the Sasquatch go into it
So he got the
and gone.
glimpse of
Yeah.
the Sasquatch entering the portal
Yes.
and taking basically like his last two steps. His legs
Yeah.
were gone,
And
and
going
that's
right
it.
into, yeah. And he said he couldn't see any higher because he's just looking straight out. And all he said he saw was legs.
So
And then
that's
they
the thing.
just
These
disappeared.
portals open, and people talk about it where some, I guess, when you're in a portal, is that it? When they close, is the theory or the speculation? Once you walk in a portal, you kind of don't know you're walking in a portal necessarily, maybe, right? So if
No,
you don't know
no.
you're walking into one, you walk into one. Is that it? You're gone, or does it open up and you can come back out, or
There's lot of psychic analysis I can give on that, but I know in Washington State there was a case, and I don't know if I think David Pilates talked about this, where a lady, she was like in her 60s, and her dog would go for morning walks in the beautiful forest on a pathway, very easy.
Mhm.
Um, and then one morning she didn't come back. And so they looked and looked and looked and they couldn't find anything. Well, some people were hiking that trail and they heard a lady going, "Help, help." And they heard the dog barking because she had her dog. And they looked everywhere. So then they started to team again to search for her and nowhere. But they could hear her, but they couldn't find her. And so I feel like she got trapped in a
Yeah.
multi-dimensional and then they said after a month they didn't hear her anymore, but it was just a constant, she kept going, "Help, help, help me." And then the dog, they could hear the dog barking, and then all of a sudden silence, and it's never been noted again. But I think she got
Ooh.
trapped in it. Then you'll find with David Pilates that a lot of people come back burnt and singed, and like the bottom of their feet are burnt off. And
Oh.
you'll find them facing forward. A lot of them are passed away, and they'll be
Right.
in water. My,
Yes.
th You want to know my
Waddles,
theory?
please.
My theory is that a portal, of course, is energy. We're not protected. We don't have any protection. We don't have a suit on. We don't have any type of protection because it's such a high energy grid. I feel it burns us. So I think we might be able to go through with slight burning, but I don't know if it's higher intensity. If we turn around, some people might turn around and go back and then they just fry. Um,
Yeah, electromagnetic
the,
frequency high enough. Yeah, I mean, it'll
so I
cook you
don't, that's
basically.
just a
Yeah.
theory of how some of them might be burnt. Um, or they got caught up with the propulsion of a ship.
Oh,
Um, but you want to talk about the hairy men of Alaska since we're kind of opening the portal to the Sasquatch
yeah.
because
Um,
this is up my alley.
that's kind of it's kind of funny. Hairy men is what they're called. Um,
Well, they said it's they're not exactly a
just the name.
Sasquatch and they're not actually a Bigfoot. And so they call them hairy men. Um,
Yeah, let
and
me
I want
bring
to
it
tell a
up.
story in Homer, Alaska, and they're mean. These hairy men are mean in Alaska. They do not like humans. They do not want us anywhere around them, and they will take you out. And so they're not like the regular Sasquatch in like the United States or in some other countries. These are mean. They're
Like this
called killer
guy.
Sasquatch. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
he doesn't
obviously you
look
could
very nice.
obviously you could see that this Sasquatch was probably shot. Look at one, two, three bullet
Yeah, he took a
holes
few
in
rounds.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't look like it
And
hurt him at
so,
all.
you're gonna have to go for the head, I think, for like a bear.
Right between the
You gotta
eyes.
take it
Yeah.
down. So Homer, Alaska, they called it at the end of the road of Alaska. And in the forest there are thousands and thousands of miles. And so it gives it a good area for these cryptids to hide and live because there's very few people. And so in the 1900s, there this one area was discovered to be very salmon rich. It was a very salmon rich area. So it started becoming populated so they could it was like they decided to settle there and make a cannery. It was a fishing cannery, and it became thriving in 5 years. It became thriving cannery. And the only reason they know exactly kind of what happened in this little area of settlers is because the cannery supervisor logged everything. Something menacing became around while around this fishing village, and whatever it was coming out of the woods at them. And the entire cannery was shut down. And the reason why it was shut down is because these hairy men were coming out of the forest and they were just sick of these humans. And so they started taking them out. So if these guys decided to go hunting, they would just tear them apart. They just took them out. And then they
And
would play.
they just ripped it. Like tearing
Yeah.
up a human when you're that big is pretty easy.
Yeah, and because they said there's no claw marks, there was no anything. These people were ripped apart, and then the
Ugh.
hairy men delivered their body parts into a water area where the settling was, so the people would find it because they're warning them,
Oh,
get out. We're gonna
it
tear
wasn't
you all
just, hey,
apart.
we're gonna rip your ass up. We're gonna rip your ass up. Send your remains to
We're
make a
gonna,
point. They're
yes,
making a
they were
point.
making a,
Okay.
yep. And so, and even this one story was written where this guy was just chopping wood by his little, their houses were just like these white little houses that they
Hmm.
lived in, these guys. And he was just chopping wood, and this Sasquatch came up. It picked up this pipe that was sitting around there somewhere, and he just smashed that man's head in with the pipe.
Oh,
And then he laid the pipe on the man. So when they found him, it took like 5 guys to even lift the pipe off of this man. And so
oh,
then
so this is
that's,
like an industrial size pipe.
yeah, it was kind of
Okay.
something, the way they showed it, it was like a pipe and then it had something hooking up and then something hooking up. So it's probably
Yeah.
something from the cannery that they had
Yeah.
used, and then they discarded it. And so the Sasquatch just picked it up and went boom on this guy. And then placed the whole pipe unit on the man. And so then they
What a way to
knew.
go. What a
Yeah.
way to
Well,
go.
he
Holy
didn't
shit.
know.
Yeah, I hope
And
it was
so,
quick.
yeah. And so between the dismembered bodies and then the killings like that, and it was blatant. They were warning these people. They left. They took off.
Yeah, I think they got the hint.
Yeah, they did get the hint, and they just left everything. They really didn't close anything down. So, and they said nobody has gone back since. And so the only people that go back are people that are like investigating, and they have been finding the prints. They actually found some prints. And the prints are, I think, like, and this was kind of a muddy area. They were kind of like about 5 inches sunk down, and I can't remember how big it was, but I mean the weight of this animal,
Yeah.
hairy man, was quite
You have to be a
incredible.
heavy, heavy dude to
Yeah,
to push into the soil like that. And
yeah.
they walk barefoot. They don't wear any shoes or anything.
No,
And
no.
they're massive. So what do you think? A
And
couple thousand
they're,
pounds? 1,000
oh
pounds?
yeah,
2,000 pounds?
yeah. Because they were saying they recorded that they were like between 7 to 9 foot tall, what they recorded during this 1900s investigation. And I want to
God.
read something that the Native Americans, or the native of the area, they said that in the native world, there is no separation between the spiritual and the physical. To them, the mysteries of the triangle are just a part of life. Hairy men may be moving in and out of this spiritual world, and that's what they believe. So they accept everything cryptid. They accept all the UFOs. The indigenous people that live there, and they believe that there's no separation between the spiritual and the physical. I thought that was cool.
No, that makes sense. And that actually
Mhm.
poked my brain to ask a question rhetorically. You talked about that portal story with the lady and her dog,
Yeah,
and how
she got caught.
she got stuck in the portal and she's calling out
Yeah.
for help, and then eventually it stopped. Is that what happened, or does the phenomenon or cryptid or uh, whatever NHI non-human intelligence is in that area? Because to me, the gamut runs within each other. Um,
Hmm.
were those cries for help from the lady in the quote portal? Was it like a mimic? You've heard of a
Oh, that's
mimic, right?
interesting. Yeah, because the Sasquatches are known to do that. They can mimic. Yeah.
Oh, they can. Okay.
Yeah. And if you are ever in the woods and like they had this cabin in Alaska and these men were building this cabin for to bring fishermen in a certain cove. Um, and they had Sasquatch activity. They didn't really see them, but they heard them. They said when the women came up, two of the wives came up, then they kept hearing a baby cry. They kept hearing this baby cry. And every time the women went to the outhouse, there's a baby crying. And they said, don't go. Don't go because there's a Sasquatch that mimics a baby to lure the women to the sound and then takes them.
Because intuitionally and instinctually, that's you hear a baby crying out in the middle of like
Hmm.
Alaska, you want to go help it, right? You want to go,
Yes.
it needs help. And I would be this, I'd be like, look,
Well, that
let's
Sasquatch
put
might want
some,
to make
yeah,
some
let's put some
babies.
pieces together. We're out in the middle of nowhere, and it took
Yeah.
a while for us to get here in Alaska to do some fishing. And you're hearing a baby cry. I
Hmm.
don't think too many people bring their babies with them out there.
Only when the women got there. It seems to
Right.
be around women that the baby cries. So I
Wow.
thought that was interesting.
That's how they pick up their chicks.
You better
How
watch
they get
out
their
because
dates.
I don't know. That would scare
But
me.
yeah, I mean, that is an interesting theory though that the natives have, where they it's all accepted as one.
Yes.
The
Yes. And
spiritual
they
and the
accept it.
physical, and
Yep.
that they appear through the veil, and that threshold is just you just have to accept it, because there's nothing you can do about it, really.
No. No.
And you understand it, and that's why that is another good point, is when you go to these weird, I say weird places, but when you go to these anomalous places, Alaska Triangle, Joshua Tree out in California, Sedona, all these weird places that I keep saying weird because that makes it sound negative, and I don't mean to.
Energetic places.
Whenever, yes, thank you. Perfectly said. When you go to these energetic places that people are drawn to, because I'm drawn to them too,
Hmm.
the best information source that you should listen to before you listen to anybody else is the natives.
Yes.
And they tell the same story, they give the same information
Yep.
for thousands of years.
They pass
They
it down.
tell you the same thing for
Yeah.
thousands of years through
Yeah.
every generation of their kind. Listen
Yep.
to this, don't do that. This is what means. Star people come here at this time, blah, blah, blah. And
Yes.
people dismiss it. And it's like, man,
Yes.
they are the best information and source of information, and the people you need to take more seriously than anybody else is the
Correct.
natives.
Correct. Yep.
Huh.
And they know how to live with these anomalies because I think they have just come to the point where we're not going to change it.
Coexist. Yeah, they
Yes, you
coexist.
can't change it. So, if someone disappears, you're going, well, you know, you just you just leave it because there's nothing you can do about it. There's just nothing you can do.
And I would even venture to say the natives of these various energetic places probably have a better relationship, if you want to call it that, with these star people, cryptids. I'm going to say the phenomena in general,
Yes,
because of the mutual, because of the understanding and respect.
that's it. Yeah.
They don't push the boundary
No.
like a lot of modern day idiots do.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who want to try to hunt a Sasquatch. Well, you're in for it.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
you, if the respect is there over generations and generations of eons, they're probably going to have a better living situation than people who try to come in and hunt.
To
So,
coexist with them. Yes.
yes,
And they probably know the warning signs. We're not going to go
yes,
that way. We feel the energy, we hear a sound, we're going to go the other way. So they know
yeah.
exactly the warning signs. They probably know broken branches, broken the footprints. They
Trees
go the
turned
other
upside
way.
down.
Yeah. Yeah. So they probably just go the other way. They just know how to coexist with them and not be taken, eaten, transferred, whatever. So
Yeah,
I think that's
or
good. That was a good
portalized.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
the hairy man's is
yeah,
it's so it's not a Sasquatch.
they said, well, this is the assumption from some of the experts that have been studying this area. They said they are a part of a Sasquatch or Bigfoot, but they're not, they don't feel like they look a little different. And I think they might be a little bit more humanoid in the face and then totally hairy, larger and mean. And I think they have to be mean in this kind of terrain, not only for humans, but for to live, that they have to be more physical and be more animalistic to survive. So I think they're a whole different kind of breed, and that's why they call him the hairy man.
Yeah, it. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to meet one.
No, I don't want to meet one. Well, that's happened, but
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I don't want to.
yeah.
Well, I'm the type that knows how to
We're
read.
not
Like,
going to go hunt a Sasquatch, put it that
yeah,
way.
I know how. Yeah, I know. If I see trees turned upside down, lined up in a row, I get the hint already. I know what that means.
Yeah.
So I have the respect for the nature anyway. So I'm not going to. I mean, the curiosity aspect, I would, to see one at a distance safely, maybe, but I would never
Yeah.
go poking around,
Yeah.
trying to get one on camera or hunt one up close, or I mean,
No.
see, photograph one up close.
No.
It's just that's their backyard, and I'll stay in mine.
Yep. Stay in our lane.
Yeah.
And two, in this segue, they also have found giants in graveyards. And so this is a article, and they're only 7 foot tall. So they're like basketball players, I guess. Aren't basketball players about 7 to 8?
Your taller one, no, not eight. There's
Okay.
set. There's some
Well,
there's more 7 footers than there used to be, and there are
okay.
some in the NBA that are like 7'4", 7'5". But most of your basketball players, I guess, average if you 6'5", 6'6" and up.
So I met Sean Bradley. Was it Philadelphia he played
Mm-hmm.
for?
Think so.
So
Yeah.
he came. I was used to be a hairdresser for 20 years, and so he was engaged to a girl that I did her hair. And so when he was Mormon, so when he came off his mission, he saw her to see if they were going to get married. And so he came in for a haircut. And that poor guy, and we had vaulted ceiling at this salon. And that poor
Yeah.
guy, he had to duck down to get into the door. And
Yeah.
then he was able to stand up when he got in, but he came in and he immediately sat down because you're like, I came to his belt buckle. I'm five
Yeah.
five, and I had a little bit of heels on, and I came to his belt buckle. And it's like, this guy is so huge. And I remember this girl, she says, I can't marry him. after he left. And he draws a crowd because you can't hide. You can't hide when
Oh,
you're
you
that
can't
tall.
miss a guy like that. No,
No, no. And she
no.
says, I can't marry him. And I said, well, why? I mean, you're going to be a millionaires if you marry. He got $1 million when he signed up. I mean, he just got, they
Oh
just
yeah,
handed
yeah, like
him,
a
yeah,
sign-on bonus. Sure,
yeah,
that's nothing. I mean, that's
yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
probably nothing now.
But in general, and he's a young man. I'm sure when he first, I mean, they're all young when they
Oh, he was
start.
young. Yeah.
So
But she said
I don't
that,
think it's the money. I mean, it's like, hey, you're too big, dude.
yeah. And see, she was my size and she goes, I can't, I'm always looking up. I'm like, I'm looking way up. She goes, I just can't do it. It's just not normal for me to do it. So he met
People
someone
have a
else. And
preference, and
yeah,
some people don't like giants. I
yeah,
don't want to date a giant,
yep.
but
So giants were prominent in Alaska. I'm sure they're all over,
the
but they
world.
did, yes, but they found them. Um, this guy found them, a graveyard of them. And so what happened to those bones? Sure, someone took them.
So
So
he found a graveyard. So obviously he found bones.
yes, yes. And I actually didn't read too much about it, but in this book, it talks about there's a 500 page, it's called a Tome, Tome, on history and traditions of this type of people.
Mm.
And it's an Eskimo story of these giants. And it's in the Alaskan State Library. And some of these giants were connected back to Siberia across the sea, that they came over from that area. And they
Huh.
were about, it states in the book that they were about 10 feet tall. And they were
What?
like sea voyagers. So it wouldn't that be like a Viking?
Well,
Like a
there were a
Siberian
lot of sea voyagers,
Viking?
and depending on the time frame, the Vikings
Yeah, it
did.
doesn't.
Yeah, the Vikings were known to the Nordics were known to be big men. Um,
Yes.
but I mean, you have a lot of seafaring nations back then. The Phoenicians, if you want to go ancient,
Yeah.
um, a lot of everybody hit the ocean to try to find places to go to and travel. So it wouldn't be unheard of. And any relationship to the Nephilim that we hear about in a
Definitely.
lot
Yep.
of the phenomena today? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
A what?
maybe
Yeah.
the Nephilims,
Nephilim. Yeah.
Nephilims.
Nephilim. Mm-hmm.
Is this what
Yep.
they are?
I think the Nephilim would be the 10-foot tall ones. But
Right. Okay.
as you can tell, because in my mind, you're going, well, what some of the skulls that they're finding are very large faces and very strong jaws. Why isn't that a Sasquatch? See, we don't know what a Sasquatch bones look like. But this looks more of a humanoid, more of a dainty, more looking
Mm-hmm.
person instead of like a strong ape-like look. Because not
Yeah.
this not, you know, they said they found some of the bones too in the 1900s. Um, an archaeologist found some bones in a cave in the Yukon. And they felt that these people were from in that cage from 24,000 years ago. So they were
Wow.
living up in the Yukons back then. And so we really just don't know because
So this
nothing's,
graveyard, was it just like, hey, we bury our dead here, like in a cemetery, or were they hunted,
yeah.
killed, and buried there by somebody else?
Um,
Because there are
oh,
stories of
I think they were,
giants around the world that would were cannibals. They'd eat people,
Yes,
So,
of course. The
and
Indians,
people
right?
got tired of being eaten. So what are you going to do?
Yep.
You just, hey, these giants are eating us. We need to kill them before they keep eating us. Kind of like that bird. We need to kill this damn bird before it keeps eating
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
So
yeah.
is that what happened here?
To be honest, I can't answer that. They it looks like they were recording human skulls discovered in the islands in the 1936s. They just kept finding and yes, okay, here it says the Smithsonian has taken all the remnants of
Oh,
these
oh, now why would they do that?
to bury the story.
Why? What? Oh,
You
God.
know what? I would love it if something happened and we were able to open the Smithsonian up, the warehouse, and we were able to go in there and just have at it because they have so much truth of our history.
have you been to the Smithsonian?
I have not. I
I've
have
been to the
not.
Smithsonian before, and
Okay.
to see the Smithsonian would take at least a week,
Oh,
if
I'm
not
sure.
more. Like to really see it, to go into each, because there's several big, large museums that make up the Smithsonian,
It's like the
and
Louvre. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
massive, and there's several buildings, and we got to make a couple of them. But to really, like, hey, I want to see everything, just from the tourist perspective, would take a
Yeah.
long time because there's so
Yeah.
much there, and it's a really cool museum. It really is. I love
Yeah, I'd love to
history,
go
and
there.
yeah, there's a lot to see, especially the Air and Space Museum is really cool.
Oh,
But
yeah.
now that's what they have on display for everybody who gets to go and see. And it's free, it's open to the public.
Hmm.
So that's cool. Now,
Hmm.
why do they keep taking shit from everywhere and not showing it, not discussing it, not talking about it?
Hiding it.
Didn't we have a discussion recently with a friend of yours who said, oh, somebody was telling the story of Elena Denon. You know
Oh,
who Elena
Sharon.
Denon? Sharon, there you go. She was
Yeah.
talking about Elena Denon's career early in her days as a younger woman
Oh,
because she
Uh-huh.
started out as an archaeologist,
Yes.
and they would find some pretty mysterious stuff, and
Yes, yes. She said that.
wow, look at this discovery, exciting, we're going to
Yeah.
get to tell the world, and
Yeah.
show the history about what happened, and blah blah blah. And it's like, no, they took it, you can't talk about
Yeah.
it.
And you can't talk about it.
What?
Yeah. Why?
Why?
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the
It's a
museum.
discovery. It's like,
Yes.
yes.
And
I know.
apparently the Smithsonian has, so I don't, where they keep it, I don't know, but they have specimens, billions of various individual specimens, from insects to creatures,
Yeah.
um, to probably, I wouldn't doubt that they have some very old, like, humans probably.
I'm
um,
sure.
Other things like gold treasure, uh, ancient boats, ancient whatever. They have a lot of it that is not discussed. Books, literature,
I'm sure
which
there's
is,
warehouses of just going
and
long
and
warehouses.
it's, yeah, and wherever it is, you're not getting anywhere near it,
Yeah, exactly.
and it doesn't make. And these are, again, these are the questions you mentioned. Where are all the bones? Who took all
Yeah.
these bones?
Yeah, all the giants are someone's taken all the bones. People discover them, farmers discover them. And then someone comes and retrieves them and you never see it again.
it,
So, and why do they not tell us? We know it. We know they exist, so why not put it on
this is
display?
this is
Why not?
where you have to disassemble the process. Archaeology and the way they've done things, and they're trained. They train archaeologists and scientists a certain way,
Yeah.
and that's fine. I'm not disputing that or arguing that. But when you've got the situations where you train the archaeologists and scientists and they make these discoveries, hey, great discovery, sign this NDA. You can't talk about it. Shut your mouth and we're taking it. What?
Yeah.
I just
Why?
I just made one of the biggest discoveries of the world. What are you talking about? Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you can't say shit about it. Otherwise, we'll ruin your life, basically. And that's what
Yeah.
happens.
Hmm.
So we have stop right there on that just thought experiment, dissect it, and try to figure out what is the point of the intervention of heisting the discovery and telling the smart, highly educated scientist, archaeologist, whomever, paleontologist, you can't talk about it, be quiet, or we'll ruin your life. And they do that. They will ruin
Yeah.
your academic career or whatever it is.
Yeah. Do
Theories.
you do you think they allow them to investigate it under a controlled environment and but they can't write a dissertation or they can't write anything but
Yeah,
for their own
they would
personal,
need
yeah,
to,
yeah,
because I think it comes to the point where the government needs really smart people to do this kind of work.
yeah,
And then when you're when you start walking into the water and the water gets above your knees, now it's like, okay, you're doing the cool shit now, right?
mm-hmm,
You're really, you went to school for years, you have 5 PhDs, you're getting to work on exotic materials and technology, you're finding giants from how long ago, who knows. You're making some pretty big discoveries, and now you start walking deeper into the water. Now you're waist high.
yeah,
Now it's like, okay, I'm doing what I love. This is great work. This is some fun shit. Man, I'm getting to see some cool stuff. Now, when you get to the waist high water, that's where it gets to the point where the government or whatever agency or whomever, that's where they got you. It's like,
yeah,
now we got you. You know what you're doing. We know you know what you're doing. That's why we've kept you and we allowed you to
mm-hmm,
walk down to the deep end waist high.
mm-hmm,
Now you just can't say or do anything about this and
yes,
talk about it and share it with the world, which is what you should be doing.
mm-hmm,
Now you need to be quiet. Otherwise, your waist high water, we're going to push you down up to the neck. And then
well, and
if
I
you
think
push it any further, then you're going to be
yeah,
submerged, and then that's it.
and I think they know that,
Yep.
but they want to, are willing to sacrifice their credibility so they can see it, look at it, touch it, and then that's good for the scientist. Then he's on his way because then he has the knowledge that it actually exists.
And
And
the thing is, when you get to a certain point, and I had this conversation with somebody else, things like this, discovering giants, we hear about, metamaterials, exotic materials with the UAPs and stuff like that.
yes, yes,
When you get to a certain point, and you're one of these quantoid brains that works on this stuff, and then you start realizing you're doing some nefarious shit, or you're part of some nefarious shit, because everything is so compartmentalized. Probably same
yeah,
thing with archaeology and ancient archaeology and paleontology,
yeah,
Smithsonian. When you realize you're doing the work that you love, you're in this section that doesn't know about this section, and this section that doesn't know about this section. So the science doesn't get to collaborate. You're so compartmentalized. And I think when you get to a certain point, they're like, hey, I think I think this whole operation is part of some bad shit. And you realize it, or they realize it. But at that point, it's not like you can just turn in your 2 weeks notice and go get another job.
no. And what if they are
They
called
won't let.
in to
Mm-hmm.
investigate it? What if they use the bone marrow DNA to do another recreation? I mean, there's so much that they
There's
can
so much,
actually.
and it's like you can't say no.
Oh
This
no, this would be
you
a
this
treasure trove. Yeah.
yeah, this is
There's
these are your orders. This is
yeah.
what we contracted you to do. Shut up and do it. And it's
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
here's my notice. I'm going to go to the private sector or do
Now I'm
whatever.
now
Okay.
I'm gonna go write a book.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm going to go work for a university or a local
Yeah.
college. Like, oh, no,
Yeah.
you're not. Because if you
Yeah.
do, yeah, sure, you can quit. But you know what? We're going to blacklist you and
Yeah.
you won't get a job anywhere. And there's plenty of cases of people where that's happened to, that's well documented, where
Correct.
they'll erase your life, they'll erase your academic
Mm-hmm.
findings, they'll erase your
Your finances.
everything. Yes.
Yep.
It's like, then at that point, you're kind of stuck. And then your conscience comes into question. It's like, man, I'm doing shit that's just really bad stuff and I don't want to do it. How can
Yep.
you go to
Yep.
work and enjoy your job after that?
Well, there's a certain corruption by that time. Just depends what moral values that you carry. But do you want to go to the one last crazy? Well, actually, there's two. And then I want to talk about the Black Pyramid too before we log off. So
Okay.
let's go to the Otter Man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
We went off on a
guys,
we went off on a tangent, y'all.
yeah,
And
I know. Yeah. So bear
when
with
we
us.
do
We'll get
this,
back on.
yeah, but it kind of it it spider webs into so many things. It's like you ask the question, where are the bones at? Good question. What if they, hey,
Mhm.
my job, hey, what's your job with the government? Oh, I go get giant bones. You know, you don't want to do that, even though somebody's doing it. But
Yeah,
anyways,
correct. I
yeah,
agree. I agree.
yeah, I don't like it's, but there's just so much hidden shit, and yeah, I need to know what's up in the Smithsonian. What'd you say, Otter Man?
Yeah, let's go. It's called Kush Taka, and
Oh,
it's an otter man. And this is a picture that I found.
love
And
this guy.
so this is a new species. I have never known about this species,
Me
and
neither.
it is quite large. And they say that this strange creature passes down through the Tlingit indigenous lore of South Alaska, and it is said to be stalking the area of Kishtaka. The otter man is half man and half otter beast, and it's a shapeshifter that stands about 6 to 8 feet tall with glowing eyes, needle-like teeth, and long tail. Their human attributes include human-like hands. Yeah, look at his hands.
Yeah, they're
You're right,
big.
they're human. Yeah, and feet, although their fingernails are like talons. So interesting. When they speak, they emit a high-pitched three-part whistle. At times, the Kushtaka can take on a full form of a human, blend into the surrounding tribes using recognizable humans to lure them into potential prey. They also talk about the goal of the Kushtaka is to trap souls and prevent people from reincarnating. And this is a
Really?
subject we should probably discuss because I can talk about this. They may appear as a human trying to lure people away into the forest. And they said if a person is injured, they come up to the person in disguise like a person and try to help them so the person will trust them, and then they capture them. They also say some of these attacks are purely brutal in nature as they morph back into an otter creature and tear their victims apart with their talons. At other times, the creature may spare the life of its prey and turn the victim into what they are, thus trapping the soul. This supernatural transformation is very similar to what happens to victims in the Wendigo legend of the Great
Yeah.
Lake region of Canada. This was a new species to me. Have no, it's very scary, very scary species.
All right, here's a question. Who would win in a fight, hairy man or otter man?
Ooh, that might be, well, the talons would be scary if he had those sharp things. I mean, it would tear a
Yeah, but
Sasquatch apart, but I think there it'd be even match.
oh,
That would be a great movie. Otter Man versus Hairy Man in Alaska Triangle.
but I bet you the otter man can build a better dam.
Well, he's kind of cuter, I think, than the
Oh, is
Sasquatch.
he? Yeah,
Well, I like otters. I think otters are
I do too.
awesome.
Otters are cute animals,
Yeah.
except for the cryptid kind that can rip you to shreds.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's just
So so this is a lore up in Alaska. So this is why I'm not going hiking in Alaska anytime soon.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm staying
That
with
is
society.
yeah, and I mean, I don't know what this is, probably an AI generated
It is
image, but
AI. Yeah.
I mean, if I'm that dude, the human, it's like you can't tell that thing's behind you. Can you imagine
Or they
that poor guy
were
turning around? It's like, oh, I'm screwed. Make my
yeah.
peace now.
Or he was just like walking around and this guy's like this Otterman's behind him because they're shapeshifters. Maybe he thought it was a guy walking behind him and then it shape shifts into the Otterman.
So, is it possible that they are a form of Wendigo, like they
That's
are
what
in?
they said. Yeah. Yeah. Which that might be a good show all in its own.
Because the Wendigo theory, basically Wendigo is shapeshifter, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if they're shapeshifters, the only time you hear about Wendigos and shapeshifters is through the native lores
Mm-hmm.
across
Mm-hmm.
wherever.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems every tribal land has stories of shapeshifters. Usually,
Yes, of course.
like at Skinwalker Ranch, it's a
Yes.
wolf, a deer,
Yeah.
some animal like that that's
Mm-hmm.
local to that. But you never hear about the Wendigos turning into a 10-foot tall wolf or a ginormous deer, but a ginormous otter.
You know,
You know what I mean?
I know. It's just
You know,
that was a new one. Yeah.
yeah, like
That
if
was a
I'm
new
gonna
one.
shapeshift, I want to blend in, you know.
Yeah.
So I would
Well,
maybe be a grizzly bear or something, an elk or something that's not going to look out of
well,
place.
there's also the Wendigo in like the Utah area and stuff. They go into dogmen. They actually had a video of
That's
one
right.
sleeping on a mountain ledge, but it wasn't a mountain. It was almost like a industrial sand dune or something. And they
Oh
were
man.
going, look at that. And then it got up and it was totally a dog man walked out. And they were actually far away, but they were going, that's a, Wendigo or shapeshifter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was scary. A dogman's
Yeah.
been seen around here by me. Did you know that? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there I was on MUFON to see if there's any reports on Sasquatches up in the hills behind me and stuff when I was having my experience. And I found a dog man. So I'm by a river, and so someone was in apartments, and there's a bridge by the river, and he was out smoking, and he saw because then there we have by the river where you can ride bikes and stuff.
Mhm.
And so he saw something under the bridge facing him, and he kind of was smoking, watching it. And then it came out into the light, and he said it was this huge dog standing up on two legs, and it was as tall as where the bridge is. And and then he got super scared and he ran inside, and then who knows where that is. But I go, that's just like
Oh.
not even that's not even a mile away from me. So if
So
it's true, if it was true, I don't know. But I thought that's pretty close for comfort. I'm not walking around at night by myself here.
Guess what we're doing in January?
Oh yeah. I could
We're
show
gonna
you
go.
where it was.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna go look for the dog man. For those of you
Yeah.
listening and
No.
watching, I'm gonna visit Robin in January, toward the end of January, and this is the first time I'm hearing Robin talk about the dog man in her area. So now my curiosity bell is ringing really loud.
Yeah.
So do I listen to it, or do I listen to my heart and be like, no, leave that shit alone?
Well, this isn't a not
Mm.
in a rural area. I mean, this is in a
Yeah,
I'm in Boise. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. I know.
there's a whole apartment complex on one
Well, my
side of
point is,
this
it's
place.
like that. That's the point. It's not too far from home. You're not having to hike up
Yeah.
in the mountain. Maybe it came down
No.
from the mountains and then it went back up into the mountains. But if it's seen in a populated area, in a
Hmm.
metropolitan area, uh, it came from somewhere,
Yeah. And what if
somewhere
it was a
nearby, or
shapeshifter?
there are. How far are the mountains from you? Like to get up into the mountains, it's how far of a drive would that be? How long?
Oh, like where we would go tubing, like in the ski resort, it'd probably take about 40 minutes, 30,
Okay,
40 minutes to get up to the ski resort. Yeah.
and that's
But
not that
I'm by a
far.
hill. I'm by a hill, but not a mountain.
But still, to see it near your, some guy saw it near his apartment. That's, oh boy.
Crazy. Anyway, um,
We're going to wrap it up with
interesting.
the famous
Yes. Yes.
thing that everybody loves to talk about, the most famous structure on Earth, dating back to however long it dates back to, is the Pyramid of Alaska, the Black Pyramid of Alaska.
Yeah.
Now, I had heard about this back in probably 2015, 2017, right around when the whole, Tic Tac video was a hot thing on the New York Times and the disclosure uproar was starting. And then I was really just diving into the topic of everything. And I heard about a pyramid in Alaska. And I was like, okay. And then I started reading a little bit more, and allegedly it was discovered, I guess, well, at least it was made public around 2012, 2010, somewhere around there. And
Mm,
there's an above ground and an underground one.
yeah, early 20th century.
Right. Now,
Yes, there's two. Yes.
refresh my memory. How did they find the above ground one?
By helicopter. I
Right.
mean, you
So,
can
but I
see
mean,
it. You can see it. I
you
think
can
it just,
see it, but it was engulfed in, I mean, there was somewhat covered in snow, though.
yeah, I
So,
think it was covered, and as things have been melting, it's ex being exposed more.
and they've
And it's
excavated it
ex
too.
y yeah. Have you read anything about excavating it? I couldn't find any
I
from the
don't, well, they're
above
not going to
ground one.
necessarily
Yeah.
tell you, hey, we're excavating this ancient pyramid we found in
Yeah.
Alaska. Look at all the bulldozers and stuff going to work. But they found it, and it is a geographical anomaly. And it's
This is
said to,
called, yeah,
good.
Pyramid Trail. This is Pyramid Trail. They have actually have a Pyramid Trail
Yeah,
in
Pyramid
Alaska.
Trail.
Yep.
And it is on one of the most active vortices,
Mm,
electromagnetic vortices, that is actually in the actual Alaskan Triangle that we've been talking about for the last hour or so.
yeah.
So, what does that tell you? And that we got a pyramid, great. We've got pyramids in Giza, great. They're in Peru, they're in Mexico, they're all over the place, great. Why are they there? They're beautiful ancient pieces of architecture, and that in
Hmm.
itself is a topic on its own, onto how it was constructed and built. But why there? Why isn't it in New York, or you know on a beach in Miami or something? Why is it on these places?
Doesn't it line up? with the other pyramids. All these pyramids have a line up zone.
There is a ley line grid
Yeah,
system,
ley line. Thank you.
and they are put on. This is the theory that they are built on this because of the telluric energy path and the energy that it draws through these ley line intersections. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like an interdimensional portal hypothesis. All of this
Mm-hmm.
energy that these pyramids are on that generate, and then it just crisscrosses. And back to your point, to like with the portal of the Sasquatch,
Mm-hmm.
even ancient shamans and the indigenous folks are saying the energy in some of these places opens up doorways to our ancestors. A doorway to your, that's just I guess a native's way of saying a portal. They're
Yeah.
opening up due to this,
Mm-hmm.
these telluric currents and these nodes and this electromagnetic frequency that's there. And that's even a reason why HARP is in
Yes.
Alaska.
Yeah.
And the amount of
Mm-hmm.
things you're doing when you're pulling up that kind of magnetic energy from the earth,
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing with it, and the capability of harness, one, you can harness it.
Mm-hmm.
When you harness the energy, and
Control
then
it.
you've got it, what are you going to do with it?
Mm-hmm.
You can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think HARP's doing with it?
Don't you think it's manipulating weather patterns,
Yes.
manipulating actually probably even a lot more than we know. Uh,
Behavior of natural
yes,
species.
yes,
You said this, and
us,
when we decided to talk about this topic, one of the things you brought up, you said apparently, and you are the Sasquatch queen. You know your Sasquatch, and you
yes,
said that they are more vicious, more violent, and
yes,
they are more prone to kill,
mm-hmm,
as opposed to the other stories you hear of Sasquatch that usually want to run and hide. They don't want to be seen.
mm-hmm, yeah,
The Sasquatch here are more prone to kill. Um,
mm-hmm,
the animals here, we said it ourselves, they're bigger, they're more
mm-hmm,
violent. The moose
yep,
are more violent, the bears are more violent. Bears
yep,
usually don't hunt people, but they hunt people.
yes,
And that is, you can manipulate the brain's behavior
interesting. Yeah, you're right.
from electromagnetic waves to our
Yep,
waves.
yep,
So
you're right.
we are antennas to receive whatever is being transmitted.
And you're right. And I do believe the people that live in some of these areas, um, I think there's a lot of probably medical situations, and I know there's a lot of um, drugs and alcohol situations, and maybe this is kind of a substance to cope with maybe pain in their head. You never know. But
Yeah.
also living in that type of area. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of problematic people also that live in that area,
Yeah.
but every area. But
A
you know
lot
what
of
I'm
poor
saying.
people, lower socioeconomic uh,
Hmm.
class of people, because, well, one, it's not like you go to a job because in Alaska, because there's so many jobs available in Alaska. It's
Yeah,
limited,
fishing
you know.
boats. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And the whole story with this black pyramid, this is just one pyramid. This is
Hmm.
just one pyramid that's doing this. And
Well, one that we found
one that
that
we,
shows
right,
itself. Yes.
yes, one that we found, and this is speculation, of course.
Hmm.
And now it's completely controlled and protected by the government and the military, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah, if you wanted to
Yep.
go take pictures, you probably wouldn't get with even and
Yeah, no
be able to
drones.
see it. Yeah, no,
Yep.
no drones.
No
That's for
drones.
sure.
Yeah.
And it's black in color, which
Yes.
is unique. All the other
Yes.
pyramids, supposedly, they're
They were
of whatever
whiter.
stone they're in. This is like a black obsidian kind of
Hmm.
uh what is that? Basalt rock style
Yeah, you said
rock.
basalt. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Or maybe
that
it's
is
a
not,
granite. Yeah.
it's not soft material.
Mm-mm. It couldn't
So
be to withstand that
mhm,
kind of element. It has to
right.
be one of the strongest stones, more than the Giza. I mean, and all of these pyramids have held up since the
Yeah.
beginning of time. They have to have been here since the beginning of this creation of this world, and they've held up for a reason. And
Yeah.
so,
And they're ancient, and that goes
mm-hmm,
back to some ancient esoteric speculation here with geomagnetic resonance and the theories around it.
mm-hmm,
Pyramids with the ley line intersection of where they're built, it's it's purported or theorized at least that it helps maintain Earth's natural frequency, the Schumann resonance. I'm sure you've heard of
yes,
that, right?
yes, yes, yes,
So
I
you
agree.
want
Yes.
you want Earth's frequency to kind of be at a baseline,
Mm-hmm,
because otherwise it'll throw shit off. And you talk about Mother
mm-hmm,
Nature doing some really weird, freaky
mm-hmm,
things, it'll
mm-hmm.
do that.
Yep.
So protecting these pyramids, harnessing the energy, using it for whatever, there is, I guess you could say, it's a necessary evil to use it. But then again, what comes at what cost? What what is the price paid when you're trying to control and use the energy that it can harness? Well,
Price
we,
price paid for us, or
yeah, I mean, like we said, I mean, the species around there are mean, are a lot meaner, more violent.
yeah, yeah,
Um, it's more of a negative, low vibe state to be in if
yeah,
you're in that area.
yeah,
Um, and then you have it is basically being manipulated with like harp and other
mm-hmm,
experimental things of that
mm-hmm,
nature to control and
mm-hmm,
manipulate weather. What's the
yeah.
point of that? Well, I mean, why do we want to try to control and manipulate weather? Why not let Mother Earth do its thing?
Why do we have chemtrails in the sky?
Because
Why
we
do we
weaponize
do
it.
why why do we do all this stuff? Because we are a people that like to destroy and control whatever they can. Um, and it's hard for just the common person to understand the thought process, I think, of this and the money that they put into this. And
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, I mean, this goes back, and I don't know if Harp was necessarily responsible for it. This goes back as far, weather manipulation is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's an operation that they had in the Vietnam War called Operation Popeye, and it worked. And what they did,
Hmm.
the goal was uh, to keep it rain, because they get these terrain. What do they call it? Like a typhoon rain, the monsoons. They
Yeah.
get these bad monsoons, and what they did was they made them more intense and last longer. So where the Viet Cong enemy was, they were in essence trying to flood their where
Oh,
they
yes.
lived and where they were staying.
Yes. Yes.
And that was through Operation Popeye, which wasn't released and declassified till, well, hell, not too long ago. But they again
Yes.
weaponized the weather to fight
Yep.
a war.
And I heard earthquakes also. They can do that with
Earthquakes too.
earthquakes. Yep.
Yep. That's a
Yep. They
whole
can,
thing. I mean,
yep, take down places. Yep.
they direct the energy. So that
Yep.
Alaskan Triangle sits on a whole tectonic kind of magnetic line. And
Yes.
when you can basically harness up all this energy and you can kind of redirect it somewhere,
Hmm.
make Operation Popeye, or you send it through the
Hmm.
earth, through the
Hmm.
crust, what is that going to do? Well, that's going to probably make plates shake, and you're going to have a lot of earthquakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're
Somehow to,
using it to, yeah, they're using it to
it's
to
like a,
create earthquakes.
yeah, like a war, a
Mm-hmm.
type of war that they use on populations, the floodings, the odd floodings that we're having that are just torrential, that wiping out whole, cities. And it's really unfortunate that our government and whoever they are doing this to their people. And
Yeah.
I get this from when I channel species, that we're the only species that damages our own species. A lot of the
Yeah.
species work with each other. They don't kill each other. Ours is the only species that will harm each other. And they think that's such an oddity when I've channeled it. They think that's
Well, it
just,
is.
it's such an oddity that you would harm your own species, and not make them strong and then go. So that's what I've gotten anyway, when I've
Yeah.
channeled
And
intelligence. Intelligence doesn't think that way. So obviously
no,
they think we're very unintelligent because we take each other out.
we are.
It's like
We do stupid
so
shit like
dumb.
hunt. We
Yeah,
hunt Sasquatch.
we
I
harm
mean,
each
yeah,
other. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
So
and part of that's a good point you made, Robin. You know, we have this whole, and I'm tired of hearing about this whole disclosure bullshit, and they want to know
mm,
we want to coexist with the species and 3 eye
hmm,
atlas when they coming down here and blah blah blah. You're okay. What are
not
you
coming
so
down.
worried about coexisting with another species when you can't even coexist with
Of
yourselves?
yourself. Exactly. Amen. Yes.
Coexist
Exactly.
with yourself first
Hmm.
before you come start talking to us about wanting to
Coexist
join
with it.
society with each
Yeah.
other. And it just baffles my mind that everybody completely egoically thinks about this, but they're not asking the right questions because they're not thinking the right way because they're
Yeah.
stuck in the same thought pattern. You
Yeah.
have to suspend the belief of what is going on in order to understand the question. And in my opinion, the stupid question you just asked. You want to know, yeah, go, well, me Bigfoot have a beer with them. Yeah. No, you don't. No,
Yeah.
you don't.
No.
No, you don't.
No. Yeah.
Two, he probably doesn't even want to come near you because you're such an idiot. Because you're the same.
Yeah.
You're the same. He's probably the same egotistical asshole who's yeah, go bomb him. Just like I don't know. I'm going on a
Or
rant
they want
here.
to hunt them. And the
Yes,
only reason that people want to kill one is to show the world. I mean, they're the only ones that have killed one. They want to do it for notoriety. And that is so wrong. I mean, to me,
they want a
that's just
trophy
like,
hunt.
yeah. And it's just like they're not doing it, I don't know, thinking of taking a life of another cryptid, but they want to show the world that they did it, and unfortunately, Brad, I think we're about 2 hours in.
Yeah, we probably need to wrap it up
I know you
because
and I could probably talk for hours,
yeah,
and
and I
I don't want
get
people
running there.
to, their popcorn's probably run out and they're Mr.
Yeah,
Pibb.
their Mr. Pibb went
So,
flat.
yeah, all the ice melted and
Yeah.
made it.
So so hopefully people stayed with us for the 2 hours or
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
And we've got a show
This was fun.
next. Oh, when is it? We're talking about something next week. I don't even
Yes,
know what our
it'll be a
schedule is.
surprise. It'll be a surprise, Brad.
Oh, that's
I
right.
know
It is going to
I
be a
don't
surprise.
I don't have the schedule in front of me,
It's okay. I
but
don't either.
we will let you know because it's going to be a good one. We have a couple
Yeah.
really good ones.
Yeah,
So,
we do.
well, all of them are going to be good because
Yeah, I think
we
so.
pick each other's brain, and we want you to
Mm-hmm.
listen, and we want you to comment down below because we want to hear
Please.
from you, and just let us know maybe how we're doing, if there's things you want to know about. And usually I will do kind of a channeling when we talk about a certain person, but something like this, I chose not to channel because there's just so much information
Yeah, we
to
went
talk
all over the
about.
place on this
Yeah,
angle because this is one that we could just keep going on and on about.
yeah,
There's just so many
yeah,
questions, and I sometimes I get a little too passionate because of the ignorance of some parts of humanity. But I guess I'm
yeah.
part of that humanity, so I need to relax.
Well, we're here to make it a better place, and we're here
That's
to
right.
make you think. We're to present this
Exactly.
information to you, to bring it forth to you, and make you maybe want to research it, maybe make you want to think about the things that we say. That's why we're here, is to bring forth information so we all can be a community and think about all this together.
And we are not claiming to be the subject matter experts on all of this. We are not
No.
claiming this to be fact because we saw it and we know it to be true. We are not saying any of that. We are just sharing our homework and notes with everybody. And
Yes.
what resonates, take it. What
Yes.
doesn't, that's fine too.
Yes. We're glad you're here.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you all. All
Yeah.
righty.
Thanks. Thanks, Brad. Have a good
Yep.
night.
Thanks, Robin. Talk to you in a bit. Bye bye.
Okay.